All right, what's going on, everybody? It is the Sex Mechanic Podcast, episode number 27. I, of course, am your host, the Sex Mechanic, aka Gene Benoit, aka The Exception, aka Mr. Born to Explore, aka Confident Creator, aka I Did It My Way. And you're back for another episode, and we have a return guest here, Miss Sheena, Miss Catcher Ice Cream herself. For those of you who do not
Yes.
watch my stories, I'm gonna put it on today and advertise some of what she's been up to. We were trying to keep it under wraps the first time she was here, but she's back with us now, and welcome Sheena for joining us, or
Well,
welcome to
thank
the
you,
show.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm
Mhm.
glad to be here. Yeah, it's
Yes,
been a while.
it
Been a
has.
while.
We didn't miss you over here too, but I'm glad you could make it back eventually.
Yes.
Sorry it took so long though.
No worries. No worries.
But yeah, so tell me what's been going on with you, and I want to hear more about what's been going on with the ice cream line as well. I want people to get a chance to hear
Um,
about this.
the ice cream is doing very well. A
Hmm.
few tweaks that I did, so it is perfect. Like the right amount of alcohol, the flavor is good. I'm getting good feedback.
Hmm.
Um, doing a little Black Friday vending. When was it? Friday for Black Friday.
Ooh.
So come out, try them all. We have the bourbon cheesecake, the vegan option, cashew coconut rum. We got rum ginger and our featured pumpkin spice, whiskey
Mm.
pumpkin spice. So if they're able, come on down, come chill, hang out.
And
We'll
this
be
is
there.
this is where in San Diego.
This is going to be San Diego on Commercial. I'll send the full address, but it's going to be on Commercial.
Okay, I'll try
Take
to
a
add
spot
that.
out there.
I'll
Yeah.
try to add that to the details on the YouTube channel. And for those of you who don't know, uh, Sheena makes homemade alcohol infused ice cream,
Yes.
and it's delicious. It's really good. And she said she's been making. You say you've been making tweaks, so apparently it's even better than when I
Yeah,
had it the
little
last time.
tweaks. Yeah, this will be the last time I'm doing those four because then I'm going to change it for winter season. So every season the flavors will change. So it's always something new to always come back to.
Yo, I commend you. You're
Yeah.
doing big things, and you've done it within like a year's time, just about. Like, I think it was about
Well,
no, just over a year,
uh,
maybe.
no, before I believe I started in May, June.
Mm-mm. No, because we made our pact. We made our pact before I
For
left.
August.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was last year.
Yeah.
It's been over a year. You started getting
Oh, in
into.
the making.
Oh yeah, yeah. Of like starting the whole process.
Oh yeah, thinking of things. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You got
It's
you
been a
got
year.
right into it, man. You hit the ground running, and I commend you. You've really done a lot in a short amount of time,
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
and I know you've been working your ass off to get to that point too. So you
Oh
deserve
yes,
praise for it.
appreciate it.
Yeah. So once y'all get a chance, check it out. I will of course put her information. Actually, you know what? Let me change your name. Um, I wonder if you could actually change your name.
Okay.
Put it to Catcher Ice Cream. That way people know where to go to find you at whatever.
Oh, you got the wrong one because I don't even know how
Okay.
to.
Let me see if I
I
can
know
do
we
it for you.
started. I know we started, and it asked me to put it in there. I put it in there, but
I'm gonna edit it for you. I got you.
oh, you
So,
can. Okay, perfect.
so it's gonna
Thanks.
be at. Let's see if I
I
remember how
have
to spell it.
no technology skills.
It's Catcher underscore ice cream.
Yes, two H's.
And that's on IG, y'all. So, or is that everywhere? That's where people can find you.
Basically everywhere. Yes.
Okay, so look that up on IG and
Mm.
everywhere else, and you will be able to find her. And of course, I will share. I've already shared the link to her IG in my IG story. For the promo, and
Right.
I'll put another one out after the podcast. But yeah, so yeah, that's where we at. So you already know I start off with appreciation. Today, I want to appreciate or give appreciation for music being able to set the mood, you know, and that's whatever mood you're in, whatever mood you're trying to be in, whether that be, you know, something sexual, romantic, or whether that be like, you know, trying to get over something. Um, music, man, music really serves a lot of purposes in terms of just kind of like getting you into a space or out of a space.
Oh, right.
So, I mean, I don't know if you have something to add to that, but I think music is, I need that shit
No,
in my life.
I use music for everything. Like literally, the poor lady downstairs, like she just be going through it. Whatever I'm going through, she going through it too. She's always gonna know my mood. She gonna know if she needs to come upstairs, you know, and complain or not, depending on what it is. If it's a little ratchet, she might say, you know, I ain't gonna go up there today. I'm gonna let her handle that
out. and I know you as well. I know you love music. Like you are definitely somebody who's listening to music in most things that you're doing.
Right. There's music for everything. And I actually listen to everything but probably heavy metal. Like I just can't. And then even that is like one or two songs I can get down with, and it's probably because of a rock band. But other than that.
So you'll do country too, because I know some people say they don't really do country.
Oh no, I like country. Country.
All right.
I mean, I feel like it's a piggyback off of blues a little bit, but you know.
So you're a music person. I'm not even a music person like you. Like I like certain types of music for the most part, and that's kind of where I stick to. I stay in my area of like, you know, Afro beats, dancehall, hip hop and R&B, and I don't really get outside that. But I know other songs. I know songs in other genres because, you know, I think I don't know if it's us being minorities or us being black, but we have a pulse on like other cultures and what's going on around us, even though it's not within our culture. You know what I'm saying? Like we're very in tune to what's happening outside of just our culture.
I think I really believe in like once you travel, try not to listen to music, you know, from wherever you're from. Try to listen to whatever culture music that you're in, because you never know, you might like something. And not only that, you can hear that music anytime, you know.
That's true.
That's what I try to do anyway.
That's how it was when we went to Cyprus. We were trying to hear the local stations and what they had going on. I couldn't tell you what they were saying, but okay, it was an experience.
Yeah. But it was so funny. Even still, even in that, they were still playing a lot of music that, you know, we play over here. But
that's true.
You know, they was, so it just depends.
Okay, so shout out to music today for definitely getting people through stuff and setting the mood when the mood needs to be set. So yeah, that's the appreciation for today. So today's episode, we talking about, is it possible to have a successful long-term relationship without a foundation of a friendship? And I want people out there to really think about this question, because there's a lot of layers to this question. You know, like I don't know. You don't think there is?
No, it is. That's what I'm saying. It is a lot of layers.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, it is.
So my take, I'm gonna give you my take real quick, is that you can do it, but it makes having a long-term relationship, a successful one, very, very difficult if you don't have the friendship as a foundation. And later on, we'll talk about reasons why. I have some stuff written down of the dangers you could run into if you don't have that friendship as a foundation first. But what's your take before I go into?
Are you saying that you have to be friends first, or are you saying eventually you'll have to have friendship?
See, what I'm saying,
added on to it.
You can add friendship on, but that's not a guarantee. You might end up, as you get to know the person, not really liking them at all. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, so you could bet on that, but I
Because
much rather it's there beforehand going into it. Like I want to,
mm-hmm.
because
Because some
that's
people
something to build on.
bypass that and just straight go for,
I know,
romance part.
I
So
know, and that is a dangerous game. I'm just saying, like, obviously it works for some people. It's worked for people before, but okay. So I want to hear your take. What do you think? That's
well,
because we'll get into the
I
yeah.
prefer to have the friendship first.
Okay.
But when you do that, you kind of like if it doesn't work romantically, then could you go back to just the friendship?
I believe you can. If if
Okay.
if if there are certain boundaries set within the friendship of respect and communication, I do believe you can, because at the end of the day, a relationship cannot work out, but if certain lines weren't crossed in terms of like
Hmm.
disrespect, and certain lines weren't crossed within like the boundaries of the relationship itself, you could definitely keep the friendship going. But I
But
mean,
some
I'm not.
people are different in relationships than friendship.
That's a good point. Please expand on that, please, if you don't mind.
Because I can be like a great friend to you,
Hmm.
but I have traits, relationship traits that we just not meshing with. It might be certain things that I do um, for you as a friend,
Hmm.
but it's not going to come to me relationship wise.
Hmm.
Like some people are different in friendships than they are relationship.
Okay.
You
And
know,
in some cases, that's a good thing. Some cases, it's not, because
right?
in some cases, people kind of like elevate the things that they'll do as a partner as opposed to a friend. And maybe what you're saying is, in some cases, people might not do as much in certain areas as a
Yeah,
partner.
yeah.
Um, Go ahead. I want to hear the
I
rest
just,
of it.
I don't know. I just feel, but I do agree with what you were saying at first. Like I believe that you can go back, um, to a friendship, but I think that's work. I believe that's a lot of work on both parts if you really want it.
And
I
time.
mean, yeah,
Typically,
if you
that
go
doesn't just happen like right after the relationship ends. Like, oh, okay, let's just transfer back
right,
to being nah.
hmm
Yeah.
you have to really want the friendship or value the friendship or don't want to let go of
Hmm.
that person. You
That's a
know.
very good point. Mm. No, that's a real good point. I so of course there's no right or wrong answer. There never is, because different people are different. And so I'm speaking in terms of, in general, I do believe you have an advantage if there's a friendship first, because you're able to get to know a person better, on deeper levels than you would when you go into romance. Because romance, you typically are distracted by the passion or by the lust or by the
Hmm.
feeling of new love and all that other stuff, and so you really don't see depth. And I think depth is important, because when you're in a relationship, you're gonna see everything whether you want to or not eventually. So I rather
Right.
see more early on, as opposed to finding out. I don't like being surprised like that. I love surprises, but I don't like those kind of surprises. So I don't want to be surprised in a relationship later on,
Right.
with things that maybe don't really fit for what I need or what I want. So I'd rather know a lot in the
Yeah, because
beginning.
that will fade. It will. It
Exactly.
will fade. It will fade. All that lust will fade. You're gonna need something to fall. You're gonna actually have to enjoy the person outside of you know going out and you know sex and all of that. So you gotta have
Absolutely.
something.
Absolutely. You gotta have something that's um what's the word? I guess something. The best word I have is a foundation. Like, you gotta have a foundation that is able to withstand different types of situations. And like you said, the going out and the fun and the sex and everything, that's not the majority of the relationship. The majority of the relationship is y'all spending time together when y'all are not doing that stuff. And those are the times, hopefully, y'all could y'all could stand each
Building
other's company.
towards something, right?
Yeah, and y'all building towards something too. Yeah, exactly. So, okay, so I think so we're both kind of saying similar things. You're saying you have a preference for having a friendship first, but it's not a requirement necessarily.
I feel like it's a requirement for me. Now, the reason why I would rather that is because to go, like when you're saying like you could go back, I don't really think that I could go back. I don't believe I could do that.
For real?
It's just, yeah, I don't know. I would find it a little weird. But then I can't really say that because I have been in that situation. But I think it was more so because the relationship was based on a friendship, but the romance wasn't heavy. So it was easier for me to go back. It was like best of best friends, very minimum romance.
Got you. Okay.
So it's like, it's easy to go back at friends because that's how I felt. Friend. Anyway, so,
it was friends first. The friends vibe was stronger, much stronger,
much stronger. So it was easy to transfer back. But it did. But even still, it still took a lot of work and effort on both parts. Because the love was there, just be not sure what genre of love that was.
You're not sure what you're supposed to do with it all the way, like at that point.
Right.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
So we was able to figure it out together, but because, we had so much love for each other, it's like we're pushing and pulling and, fighting and arguing, but at the end of the day, it was all in love, It was more like an understanding, us talking it out of what happened or how we're going to move forward. So, yeah.
Okay. So putting yourself back in a situation where, not back, but putting yourself in a situation where it's a little different, where there's heavy romance and there was still a good friendship beforehand. You don't feel confident that you would be able to switch.
I don't feel confident.
Like transition back into a friendship.
No, I don't feel confident in that. I'm not saying that it won't. I just don't. No, I don't know. I just don't feel I can just go back. I feel like I'm maybe emotional, or it's just like I don't want to. I just don't want to see. I don't know. I guess I just don't want to see. Like I just want to leave that alone.
So you think y'all would be like nothing? I mean, maybe cordial if y'all saw each other, but there would be no contact and like regular contact and all that.
No.
Okay. No. Okay. I mean, that's fair. And that's important that you know that about yourself, because you at least now if you got into a situation, you could tell somebody straight up like, hey, I don't know what's going to happen if we don't work out, but the way I feel is like we probably won't be able to have anything or whatever afterwards like that. Like, you're going to have to ask my family or somebody else how I'm doing, basically, to find out how I'm doing.
I mean, it could be like a hi, how you doing? But it's not like, hey, you want to hang out, or, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm doing this. No, I don't want to do that.
I think that becomes tricky though, in terms of what's okay and what's not okay to like. I know I've struggled with that with different people I've dealt with in terms of how much to contact or how little to contact. I'm not somebody who contacts people a lot, but there are certain situations where either the woman was like, hey, I can't really do this anymore, like us being in contact at all. And I was just like, oh, okay, well, I understand, but that lets me know, all right, I was, that was too much. But sometimes people don't say anything, and I don't know if like in the past, I don't know if I was like doing more than they were comfortable with, being that we had what we had and it didn't really work out. So typically I tell people straight up like, hey, can you just tell me straight up if you don't want any contact, I mean, I'll accept it. I don't want it, but I get where you're
Yeah.
coming from, so I'll let it go. But
Well, also, do you think that people want to have, well, depending how many, you know, partners they had, do you really feel like that person's going to want to befriend, all of the people of their past? I mean, that could be tricky going into a new relationship also,
maybe
you
not all
know.
of them.
Not all of them, but I'm just saying, every time
Yeah,
the other person turns around, it's like, oh, yeah, we dated for a little bit. We was together for a little bit, or whatever the case may be.
I think the only time it gets tricky is if there's no closure from that last situation. Like maybe it's one person's decision, but not both people's decision. Maybe it wasn't mutual. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? So like maybe one person wasn't feeling the other person that much, and the other person felt like, oh, well, I actually wanted to be with you, or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
When it's something like that, that gets tricky where I totally understand if women want to cut me off or don't want me to have any more contact because I could interfere unknowingly with what they have going on or what they want to have going on with somebody else. Like you kind of stop them from making progress. So that's why whenever it happens, I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna back
Right.
off. And I just totally go hands off all the way until they reach out to
Reach
me
out.
somehow. Yeah. Because that's
Okay.
only fair. Like even if I want to know how they doing and all that, I'm like, oh well, I made the decision of I guess not made the decision, but I felt like, I couldn't give what the person wanted completely. So I can't now act like I want everything that I want and whatever they want is whatever. Like I have to respect that.
Mm-hmm.
So um okay, well, I mean I agree with you that that's my preference too. I actually think it's a little strange for me when I feel like women are doing stuff for me or acting a certain way towards me just because they like me. Like I feel like that makes me feel uneasy. To be totally honest with you, like I don't know what
There's
it
a
is
word
about
for
that.
that.
You said there's a word for it.
Yeah, it's a word for that.
Mm.
I think T Pain just came out with a song about
I didn't hear that one.
it.
I don't
I
know what
think
the
he
word
did.
is there, but I
I
don't
mean,
really. I'm that makes me feel uncomfortable. And I was actually I was triggered like last week, right? So I had somebody, I'm cool with. Um, she contacted me. It's a woman from my past, but we've still like kept in kind of in contact. You know what I'm saying? Like she has her own situation now, married and about to have a kid or whatever, which is fine. Um, but I remember our relationship in the last, like in the later years, started to feel more conditional and like transactional. And I don't like those kind of relationships unless that's what it is.
mm,
Like if we exchanging money, then okay, I'm cool with that. That's a business deal. But if we're supposed to be like friends or supposed to be cool, I think it's kind of I'm not really a fan of people taking score of like, oh, you did this for me, so now I owe you
oh
this or
yeah, I
vice
cannot
versa.
stand that.
Oh my god.
If you're
So
gonna do it, just do it.
just do it. Just do it because you want to. Don't do it because you
Right.
expect something back.
Exactly.
So it felt like that with her. And so I don't know why, but that brought up feelings again of like, man, I really, this past few years, especially, I've known that I can't be in a situation with somebody romantically unless we build a friendship first. Like we have to. That for me, it's a
Mm-hmm.
if we don't do that first, I'm not getting in anything with you because I can't. I don't want to feel like the only reason like you're fucking with me is because you like me. Because if how about if you stop liking me tomorrow? Like so, because the stuff I do for them is because I care about them as a person, not
Mm-hmm.
because I want something from her, not because I want to
I
convince
know
them
if
that
I give you this, then you gonna give me that, or
exactly.
you know what
Or
I'm
or
saying.
you
I
or
can
maybe
get
you
this
might
out
want
of
to get
you.
exactly like
Yeah.
it's not that at all. I do things literally because I want to do them. So yeah, that's definitely that's a hard uh for sure. I need that friendship first. It needs to be there. Like that's a bare minimum.
Yeah, I need that. Do you feel like you could tell if somebody's doing something for you to get something?
Um, sometimes you can. Sorry, I'm messing with the lighting. Sometimes I can. Sometimes it's a little trickier, and I can be confused. Like
Yeah,
sometimes it takes a situation to come up, and then the person says something, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that's what it was. For me to
right.
realize that's what it is. But yeah,
Yeah.
it depends. How about you? You feel like that's pretty obvious, or is
No, I
there?
don't think it's obvious. I think it takes a while to really watch a person and see
Mhm.
if that person is really like that foundation that you're talking about is really trying to be a friend or is just trying to either drain you of something or, you know, more so take what they can get from you.
Or they have other intentions for you. Like they really want something else, but they're posing as a friend until you're ready for something else. That's another
Hmm.
thing. And I know women probably deal with that a lot more than we do, but um yeah, I could imagine that's kind of weird, like having to weed out who actually wants to be friends and who actually wants to be with you, like, romantic.
Right. I say, just tell me from the get go. You don't have to act like you like me. You don't have
Yeah.
to persuade me. Just be like, oh, you cool people. We can just, just kick it. You ain't gotta. We don't have to. Sometimes, like even when I'm talking to somebody, even for me, sometimes I have to tell certain dudes, like, well, I was just talking to you because I feel like you're a dope person, whatever, whatever. But that doesn't
Mhm.
mean that I want to try and start something. Maybe that'll come in the end, but right now I just want to see you as a person.
Yeah, yeah.
See who you are.
I
If
just like
something
your vibe.
romantically, yeah, comes out of it, then okay, you know.
And that's probably a hard conversation to have with people because they're like, I'm confused. You were nice to me, and I thought,
Yeah, exactly. That's
that
how I
meant
mean. Well,
something else.
you gave me your number. Well, yeah, because I'm not from here. I'm just trying to see what's going on. Maybe hang out, see what's. But that's it. I'm not looking for a possible. I'm not trying to date you. You know.
Hmm. And that's another thing too in terms of people understanding, like, at least for you in your case, you're kind of a social butterfly, so people have to understand that you connecting is more of a normal thing for you. You know? Can you hear me?
Hold
Hello,
on.
hello, hello.
Something happened here.
We got some
There we
sound
go.
issues.
I
Can you
got
hear
it.
me now?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
cool,
don't know what
cool.
that was.
So let me give some of the dangers, I guess, or some of the pitfalls of not having a strong friendship based foundation before getting into something romantic. Again, this is not like a list of stuff that, is definitely going to happen, or, there's no other way. Nah, you could be successful in other ways. I'm just saying that you're more likely to be successful by choosing a friendship based foundation over just jumping into romance without having that friendship. But here are some of the things you might run into. Some of the reasons why it might be a problem if you don't start it off from a friendship perspective. The respect can go out the window quicker once tensions arise. So if you get in an argument or if things get kind of heated, if you have like let's say a strong friendship with somebody,
You know,
there's
respect them a little bit more.
you're gonna respect them a little bit more. The respect's gonna be there a little bit more. If you look at
Hmm.
them as just like a person you're with, you might just be one of the people who just says fuck it. And you say whatever comes out of your mouth, and you're like, all right, well, whatever damage it does, we'll worry about it later on. But you're not as concerned because you're not invested in the person or in the relationship as much as if you're like friends with somebody. You really know somebody, like you really have some type of connection. And you could, by the way, jump in whenever you want to add something, or
Hmm.
because I have mine written down. So if something comes to your head and you don't want to forget, you could just say it. and I'll just,
Okay.
So yeah. The other thing is the connection can be limited to surface level things like physical attraction or what the other person can provide for you, and we kind of touched on that. Um, if it's not based on something real and something with depth, then you might just be with the person because they look good, and that can fade.
That'll
And
fade quick.
and sexual attraction can fade even if the person looks exactly the same. You might just be okay. This was fun, but you know, we've had sex in every place that we could possibly have sex, so it's not really as appealing anymore. You know, that's just a real thing. It can happen. The other thing is the communication can be a struggle because that likely was not fostered during the passionate lust phases. So, like you talked about the situation you were in where you had a strong friendship, you guys were able to talk certain things out during the relationship because the communication was there. Like that's something that you guys worked on probably when you guys were friends. Y'all learned how to communicate with each other the right way. And so it was easier to translate that into the relationship, right?
Right.
Like,
Right. It was much very, very easy, to sit down and talk. And not only that, really say how you feel without trying to beat around the bush or anything. You could just say it right. And it's like, okay, I know you as a person. I know that you might be having a problem saying this, but do you mean this? It's like once a person really knows you, they can, it's just a better communication between you both.
and
Like,
go ahead.
like some people actually will be in a whole relationship and, really don't talk. Like most of the time, if they're not doing something, like if they're not on their phone or watching TV or listening to music, they have all of those distractions. But if you sit down, you really just talk to someone, you'll get a lot more accomplished that way. And I see that a lot of times in people, like if they're not actually doing something, there's no connection, there's no bond.
And I would add too that you kind of know somebody's heart to some degree, when you're friends as well. Like as opposed to if you're just because sometimes the miscommunication comes because you don't know where the person's coming from. And so that's a big reason for people like going from this level to like this level because they might think that this person's saying one thing and they're really not. Like you just said, they might mean something else, but maybe they're not communicating it in the best way at that moment. But when you know
Exactly.
somebody, like, hey, I don't think they mean that way because you know them, like you know them on a deeper level. But in an argument with somebody that you don't really know like that, you're gonna assume the worst, and that could go left real quick. So
Right.
that can
And,
cause for even worse altercations than
and
if
that's
not.
what most friendships are. You talk about your trials, tribulations, everything that you had from your past and what makes you think the way that you do. You know what I'm saying? So if you're just in a romance, situation, or you just go straight into being a couple and you don't know where this person comes from, why the person thinks the way they think, or certain situations that you might do, why they might feel they don't want you to do that, and that goes even further, and what'll get this person upset or make a person feel that way because of what happened in their past. And you can catch those things before you actually do it, in the relationship, because actually know the person.
Makes a difference, man. We actually have a question here. I'm glad I went back and I had a full screen just now. I couldn't see all the questions, but SG says, do you feel like going into a relationship with a friend, expectations are higher for a relationship, or the breakup, if it happens, is harder? I'll let you answer first and then I'll answer.
It's going to be, I think, harder. If
The
you're
breakup?
if you're friends, I think the breakup will be harder.
Really?
I think it will be harder. Because a lot of times, like, you don't know if, I guess, if you're going to be patient with the person because the person is your friend, you're more forgiving,
Mm-hmm.
which is a good thing, is because if you can get through things as a friend, that just every time you go back to a good place, it just makes the friendship stronger.
Of
And if
course.
you keep having that, from, friendship to relationship to even marriage, you know that once you come out of whatever, you're only going to get stronger.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a great thing that it makes it harder because if this is the person for you, it just makes your relationship stronger through everything that you guys go through.
Kind of like exactly that saying when they say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So it's kind of like every time y'all go through something tough, you come out the other side better, and
Mm-hmm.
in a better place than you were when you went into it.
Right.
Like, um, my opinion about this is, I don't know if the relation, maybe the expectations are a little higher, but I don't know if they should be. I think the expectations should be the same because we're both going in, both assuming this is two people, going into it thinking that um, this is something that we're both gonna, put our all into and see how it works out. But I don't think, I guess I don't think relationships are guaranteed necessarily. Me personally, I do feel like there's a certain type of feeling you get when it is somebody, you know, special. It's hard to explain what that feeling is to me, but that's a whole nother topic. In terms of the breakup, I've actually had this happen. Like me and my ex, like we're to this day, we're still really good friends, but it didn't happen right afterwards. Like afterwards was really tough. It was a really hard breakup for both of us, but eventually we got back to where uh like the friendship was in the forefront again. And then it's kind of like we went, I don't know, like we built it up again, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the breakup is harder. That's really my only like big breakup. So I can't say I've had situations where I've discontinued situations or we've discontinued when I was dealing with somebody, but not in a relationship, not in an exclusive relationship. So obviously those were not as tough. And also those weren't loving relationships either. Those were people that I really, really cared about, but I can't say I was in love with. So um, I don't know if it makes the breakup harder, to be honest with you. I think the breakup would have been hard because it was somebody I was in love with. First love and all that other stuff, that's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be hard. So um I think that had more to do with it than the friendship itself. I actually think the friendship made the breakup easier because if we weren't friends before, we might not have ever built a relationship after that. Like we would have been nothing right now. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think I
Like,
could detach pretty fast. I think I could detach if we didn't have no strong friend, because I would feel like I'm not really losing anything, but I guess something I ain't want. You know what I'm saying? Or the other
mm,
person didn't want. When you have a friendship, it's like friendship breakups are hard. Like even if it's not even romantically, you know what I'm saying? Like friendship, like if I had a friend and I'm really like it hurts. Like if this person did something to me, it hurts. Now if it's something romantic, then it's like if it's not love per se,
mhm,
but I feel like love goes hand in hand, you know, with friendship. I don't know why, but I
mm,
do. I feel like love and
okay,
friendship are they're almost one and the same, you know.
got you.
Um almost depending on again what type of love you're doing, love for a child is different for. But anyway,
Mhm.
um but yeah, I would feel like it's easier to if we didn't have a friendship, then I just feel like I wasn't missing out on anything. Like I just feel like,
We both just move
well,
on.
we just both move on. Yeah, we had good times, but
I'm saying to me I think I'm saying it's not harder because I feel like if it's a solid friendship, we could recover the friendship. Again, unless like some really crazy boundaries were crossed. everybody has their boundaries in relationships. I get that. But if
Mhm.
it was like we just weren't a good fit, there's no way I could see that we can't build that back up. Like, it's really hard for me to see that. If we were really friends, if we were just kind of like cool, then yeah, that might not come back to anything. But if we were like friends, I don't call everybody friends. So like if I consider a person a friend, I feel like we should be able to build that back up. Even if it's not exactly what it was before,
Mhm.
but we can build a new version of our friendship. Obviously, it's going to be a new version because, we just had a relationship romantically. So that changes, our experiences together. So I wouldn't expect the friendship to be exactly the same as it was before anyway. Um, I would expect a revised version, but um, I mean, I respect where you coming from, though. I mean, I get it. I think I'd be able to be totally honest. I think I'd be able to cut off, and this may sound mean. I'd be able to cut off a friend for something they did easier than cutting off a relationship with somebody.
Really?
Yeah, and I know that sounds probably kind of crazy, but
Yeah.
it's certain things I think you share in a relationship if you're really open and really giving yourself, like fully, or showing yourself fully. I think there's certain things that you give in a relationship that almost like you give a piece of yourself to some extent. Like even if the relationship doesn't go on,
Mhm.
like that goes with that person. Not to say like you're not a whole person anymore, but like a piece of you stays with that person to some degree. Um, I don't know. And maybe in my mind, I feel like friendships could always be rebuilt. Like it's really hard for me to see a
I
friendship
feel like
that can't
friendships can
be
be
recovered.
rebuilt, but not after a relationship. I mean, I've like I said, I've done it. It took us a while to get there,
Hmm.
but again, it was because the friendship was way stronger.
Got you.
You know.
Hmm. Now, that's a very interesting. That's an interesting just like topic of like friends and relationships because we both have experiences with that. And in my case, I feel like the person and I are as close as we've ever been, or if not closer. But I think we both understand too, like we have a kind of like a spiritual connection that even if we don't ever end up together, that
Mhm.
like that's fine. But there's a connection between us that's like that transcends a relationship or a title or anything like that. It's more like there's a bond there,
Right. Right. I
um
agree.
with or without the romantic side, so
Mhm.
um I think knowing that maybe that's a little different, and I don't have that with other people, so I can't speak on that, beyond just that situation. So
Mhm.
maybe my perspective is a little biased to some degree because yeah, because I only got that one situation to look back on. But okay, yeah. There are a couple other things to be wary of, um, if you don't start from a friendship point of view or a friendship foundation. You or your partner are more likely to, and then this is my opinion, but I really think there's some validity to this. You or your partner uh, could be more likely or susceptible to infidelity because the basis of your relationship isn't solid enough. So once something or someone else catches your attention, uh, or catches your interest, um, you are less likely to be able to withstand that or like kind of like stop it from happening because you don't have enough of a why. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have a deep enough reason to me in the relationship to where you would be like, I shouldn't do this.
I think that just boils down to loyalty.
Oh,
Like like you can have a friend that's unloyal, and you can have your person and the same thing, loyalty. You know, if you don't have that as a person or towards that person, then that's doomed anyway. Temptation
you,
is everywhere.
you don't believe sometimes people are loyal, but the temptation gets the best of them still? You
Not if
could
you're
try to be as
loyal.
loyal. You could try to be as loyal as you can. I mean, as loyal as as a person wants you to be, but sometimes temptation is greater than whatever you're using to resist temptation.
It could be.
And not all
But I
temptation
just
is
feel
built.
like
And not all temptation is. Well, this is my opinion. You tell me if you think that's true or not. Not all temptation is built the same or is equal. You know? Or
yeah,
do you think it
I
is?
believe no, it's
Oh,
definitely not.
okay.
It's different
So it's level.
temptation.
It's levels to this, man.
It
You feel
is levels.
me?
It is levels. But I do feel like if you're loyal to somebody, if you're truly loyal, then you just not gonna do it.
So how
That's
about
just
if
like that's just like anything. Like if it could be like a business venture, and you say, "Oh, I can get more out of this right here than
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying." And before you talk to the other person about it and see how they feel or whatever, and you just go do it, that's unloyal.
Okay. But okay, I got a question for you then. So how about if somebody is loyal, right, to the person they're with, however, there isn't they're loyal, but they don't have they don't have a strong enough foundation.
Willpower.
And not even willpower. Like
Oh.
willpower obviously varies by person. Some people
Mhm.
have stronger, some people have, weaker willpower, and it depends on what they're being tempted by as well. But what I'm saying is, let's say that, hey, you're super loyal to this person. You
Mhm.
really you're loyal to this person. However, you could be loyal to the person, but the thing that you and this person have is not it's not strong. Like it's
Then you need to leave them alone.
it's based on like paper. You feel me? Like,
Uh-huh.
you know what I'm saying? It's like a paper airplane versus an actual aircraft. Yet you're trying to withstand the same forces that an actual aircraft withstands.
That
You
just
get what I'm
sound like
saying?
you in it just to be. You can be loyal to somebody and still let the person go.
No, I'm not saying let them go.
Oh, what do you mean?
I'm saying you're in a relation. Y'all in a relationship. Y'all already in the relationship. So you think that you could handle certain type of situations, but then once you realize you get into them, you're like, oh shit, the relationship is not as strong to kind of hold you up, but kind of make you give you enough
You need to
reason
let
to
that
hold
go.
back. I agree that you should let it go. I think so too.
Yeah, you should
Or
definitely let it go.
or find out why you're allowing yourself
Because that's
to give in.
still being loyal. That's like, look, I just can't do this because it's not working. Because I feel like I'm looking elsewhere, or so.
How about if they're so loyal to you that they don't want to break up with you though, because they
I
want
don't agree with
that
that.
to.
They shouldn't do that because that
Okay,
interferes with their happiness.
I agree. I totally agree with you.
I think you'll be more loyal to me to tell me that you're not feeling me, or you no longer want this,
Okay,
because then I'm in something that's a fraud, basically.
true. Okay. No, we're gonna agree to disagree on that one. I think you could be loyal to somebody, but just not y'all just ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? And it's not I don't think it's necessarily loyalty, but I think it's more of a, you gotta have that foundation. But I think I like your perspective as well though. The last thing to kind of take into consideration is you could end up not liking the other person, or not even like spending time with them outside of sexual intimacy once you really get to know them over time. So and we kind of talked about that too. Like that's most of the time that you're with somebody is, you're not having sex most of the time, and you're not, having a good old, doing stuff. Sometimes you're literally just taking care of, bills, or doing like household chores, or talking about plans of things that need to be done, and need to be taken care of. So you need to make sure that you like the person that you're with. That helps.
Mhm.
I mean, you look, again, you could be with somebody for companionship or for other reasons, whatever reasons you want to be with anybody. But if you're going in with the intention of like, hey, I want to be in a long-term situation filled with love and good communication and trust and all that good stuff, you're a lot better off starting it off with a friendship as your foundation, or at least be working towards a friendship as you're becoming romantic. Like you said early on, like sometimes a friendship doesn't just happen automatically, it might happen over time. But again, if you're with somebody that you don't even like, man, you gonna have some trouble, man. You're gonna have some
Yeah.
problems. You're gonna have some problems down the line. And if you start talking about kids and everything else, whoo, man, baby mamas and daddies, like,
I wouldn't even go that route.
but
Kids,
some,
that's gonna be an ultimate no
but
no.
but sometimes people don't know. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people don't know the person fully until it's too late, and then they see
Hmm.
the other side or other sides of a person, and it's unfortunate that you know sometimes people get in too deep, and then that's when they're like, "Fuck, I didn't realize what kind of person you were."
Right.
Um, and now yeah, now we got to deal with it.
I don't like you, and we got a kid together. Basically.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, that's yeah. But again, this is only talking about, this is to everybody watching and listening. This is really referring to people who are looking towards a long-term trusting, highly communicative relationship. You're better off building a strong foundation. If you can base it off of friendship, that's great. If you can base it off of something else that's not friendship, but it's still strong, like good communication, trust, honesty, stuff like that, where over time that kind of thing won't fade. Those type of things will last and make you stronger within a relationship. Then I think you should go that route as opposed to just jumping in because of attraction, physical attraction, or even
Hmm.
whatever you're feeling at the moment. Because sometimes it could feel really good, and that's really all it is. It just feels good, but there's no real
There's no substance.
nothing, no
Hmm.
substance. Exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, that would be my final take on that whole thing. Is there something you want to add to that I maybe didn't mention, or
Oh no, the beginning was exactly how I feel. You gotta have, for me, you have to have the friendship, even if it doesn't start that way. If it builds that way, and then that friendship turns into something more, that's how I would rather it go
hmm
than just straight. Oh, I find you attractive. Oh, I have couple good moments with you, and but not really getting to know you, knowing your past, knowing what your dreams, and I must know everything, you know. We're about to be besties.
exactly. Agreed. You're about to share
Yeah, I
a
want to
lot of
know
different things with this person,
why
so
you walk the way you walk, why you
you gonna make me laugh
why
while you
you
walk
say
to
things. Yeah, I want to know everything. I need to know everything. Why do you like this color? Like everything. Where did that stem from? Everything.
you on your Joe right now. You want to know. You want to know. Okay, I mean that's understandable though, because I feel like you're about to share a lot of different things with this person. So the most you can know, the better, or the more you can
Hmm.
know, the better, because you're gonna continue learning stuff about this person over time anyway. And people change also as they get older and
Hmm.
go through experiences.
You can
So
figure out if you want to
yeah.
continue this route, or I'm starting to like you more romantically.
hmm
If somebody's gonna be put in a friend zone. You gotta figure that out first, not after.
uh-huh. That's true.
For me, anyway.
Just a friend zone. And that's it. Like you can't
Right.
get past that. You can't get out of that.
No,
Got you.
there's no going back. Let's just stick with friends.
Mm, okay. Well, I really enjoyed that conversation. I want to know if you want to add something or anything about, you talked about the event coming up on Black Friday.
Hmm.
Um, and do you have anything else in the works? Do you know what the seasonal flavor for December is gonna be, or for like wintertime?
I do know I'm not sure how I'm going to blend the spirits in, but I do know I do want to do an eggnog. I want to do like a
Mm.
spiced apple, um,
Mm.
a like cranberry chai. Those are the three that I know for sure. I just want to see how I can put that together. But I will be
Aw. I think Sheena's phone probably died. I really wanted to hear the rest of that too. Like she was talking about cranberry chai when she said the spiced apple, I think it was. I was like, ooh, tell me more. Um, she makes really delicious alcohol infused ice cream, like I said before. Here she is. She came back on. Hold on. Let me get her in. Hold on, Sheena. I got you. Okay.
what
All right.
happened? You hung up
You
on
tell me. No, I was sitting here I was like, all right, she's talking about chai this, and I'm waiting for the next thing, and like you just went away. I thought your phone died, but
no, but in the next 2 weeks I'll have the different flavors that I'm gonna have out for the winter season.
okay. We are looking forward to it. And like I said, I'll put it in the details of the video on YouTube, and people can find you. And then they can go to a website. Is your website ready yet, or
It is not ready yet.
okay?
That's
But they
another
can go to
story.
you on IG.
IG,
They can DM
Facebook,
you. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, y'all see the tag right there, Catch Your Ice Cream.
Yes.
And you see the merch. Is the merch for sale yet or not yet?
It is.
It
It
is.
is. It is for sale. I'm waiting for the website to open, but you can go to Catcher Style at Spotify, Shopify.
Can you send me that link, and then I'll
Yes.
put it in the details? Okay. I'll also put that in the details for everybody who might want to get some merch as well. Man, thank you. I appreciate you because I know you got to go to work tonight. This was really,
Yes.
really, really. I appreciate you for real. Like I thank you.
No worries. I enjoy it. I really do.
Good. I'm glad I could get you on again after like months actually of
Months,
having you on
yes.
the first time.
Months.
We gonna blame you for that though, because you live a busy life. So, all right, y'all. So thank you for joining us for episode number 27. If you're listening to this on Spotify or any other kind of audio, I hope you enjoyed it as well. And we'll talk to you all soon. Later.
Bye.
All right.